Call this meeting to order. Dave should be here in a few minutes, and I understand Doug's not with us and John's not with us, so we'll carry on. I should make an announcement. The report on the Thedford Village Complex, this center is not on today's agenda. I don't know if you ladies are here to listen to that, but that's not on today's agenda, so it will be coming up in the future. So just if that's what you're waiting for, it's not, okay, then that's all good. I'd ask that anyone has a pecuniary conflict of interest to declare it. Now we're at the time. And we have the minutes from the budget meeting of January the 10th. Yes, we have those in our package. Any questions on those minutes?
I'll move those minutes.
Moved by Councillor Underwood, second by Councillor Cook. All in favor of those? Carried. Thank you. And 4.1 for our report 18 on the Phragmites program. Brent, do you want to speak to this report? Or?
No, this report follows up from the presentation the council had from the Lantern Shores Phragmites Community Group back in December. So it was referred to budget, and we were asked to take a look at the program. Currently, there's $15,000 included in the operating budget for the Phragmites program. After we met with them after the meeting, we realized that there was no dollars in that budget for doing any sort of control on municipal property. The county's program will be focusing on spreading their $50,000 throughout the county onto highly populated areas and dense growth. So there will be a little bit in Lantern Shores on the north end of Lakeshore Road. In speaking with the community group, we felt a wise approach might be to take this program in small steps and focus on moving south of Port Franks into Ward 4 and trying to clean up Phragmites in that area. Use it as a pilot and use it as a partnership with the county to see what a partnership approach could accomplish. And then it would also give us an opportunity to manage the budget this year and refine the program. Estimating the cost of control for this year was difficult for us because we don't have the mapping done like the county did. I did some rough estimates based on the number of kilometers of road we have in the ward and kind of the uptake of Phragmites on county roads, and 5,000 seemed reasonable at that point. So I would recommend if council is supportive of the program, that the operating budget be increased by 5,000 to also include control.
Okay. Councillor Underwood.
Yes, I move that council increase the budget allocation to $20,000 to include the cost of control efforts within the municipal road allowance, as outlined on page 8 on conclusions for this report.
Okay. Second. Councillor Scott. Okay. Deputy Mayor Day.
Brent, are you familiar with the application that the Port Franks Phragmites Committee actually submitted for the $25,000? They were able to secure the $25,000?
Yeah, they were able to secure the Great Lakes Community Fund.
Actually. And is there any overlap on some of these things? Are they proposing to put together any educational materials or?
Yes, I believe there was, because the initial submission that they had provided to us was a total budget of in the order of $40,000.
Okay.
And then when they resubmitted to us in December, they reduced their budget ask to the municipality based on the funding they had received. So they have deducted the grant funded portion from what they're asking of Lantern Shores.
Okay, so their plan did include Ward 4 as well, not just Port Franks.
No, it was just Port Franks, but there's some of the background material that they're going to produce will be applicable to all of Lantern Shores anyway. So education materials, and I think some of the work they've done on the management plan to that point, it applies to the municipality as a whole.
Okay, one more question. You mentioned hiring a student. Is that included in the $20,000?
No, that's not. That was just we're planning to hire a student in community services anyways, either like a landscape design or a horticulture student, and if we're not successful getting a student like that, then probably somebody more focused on civil engineering tech and updating our GIS system. So we thought we could just, this would be a fit with either of those job descriptions. And I guess the one thing I did miss was, where we haven't addressed Phragmites yet is municipal drains, and the community group also does not have plans for municipal drains, and neither does the county because it does fall under the local municipality. So we are able to proactively deal with Phragmites in the drains. The challenge is any work is then assessed to the drainage area. So we're asking in the report that council maybe give consideration to what the direction should be on dealing with Phragmites and drains, and whether we take the proactive approach, or if we maybe just, my thought is that we start with them this summer without actually doing any control within drains, have our student walk them and map the drains themselves so we can get a handle on what's there, what the cost might be, and we can maybe decide next year what we think we're going to do. The challenge is that if we clean up Phragmites on the shoreline, the drain will spread it. Probably not that quickly, but.
Yes. Councillor Scott?
When you look at what's happening right now with the floodwaters going down and the amount of Phragmites that will already be on the ground and in the drains, moving forward, we could have quite a resurgence come the springtime. We had a big discussion on this on Saturday of last week. Nancy had invited all the Ipperwash people down to a meeting, and what is really good to see is that the Ipperwash people are taking a very positive, just like Port Frank's people did, very positive approach. Now they're going to work through Nancy so that we don't have a ton of groups coming forward to council, but there was, one of the major concerns was the drains. There is also talk of being able to reapply to that same grant again, because until the funding runs out, you can reapply as many times as you want. So there is the possibility, and they are looking at other grants, and I believe you've kind of kept your eyes open too, Brent, for any grants that are coming up that deal with horticulture and stuff, so.
Well, those grant applications, funding requests, they will come through the municipality, are they not?
The last one came through ATCA.
Or through conservation?
Yep.
So they're making them in partnership with
Yes.
either us or the agency. Councillor Craig?
Question for Brent. Are you aware of how much involvement the county has, and are they going to be financing any of this?
The county's program, they're simply focusing on county-owned rights of way. So I've included a map here in my report, and it shows the mapping that the county did last year. They actually went on GPS, the different occurrences of the plant. So in Lambton Shores, they'll look at a small section on the north end of Lakeshore Road, and their plan is to focus their $50,000 budget on dealing with all the pink areas in this map. We've asked them that given the efforts that Lambton Shores and the community group has spent on eradicating the plant, that if there is any leftover funds from that $50,000, that they might consider going back and doing the less dense patches on Lakeshore. And I'm not sure, they've heard it, I'm not sure what their plan is. Like I said, I have to turn to our county representatives and hopefully to push that for us.
Okay.
Just as a follow-up on that, yes, I did bring this issue forward to the committee meeting on infrastructure and roads, and I was asking specifically for more of a cooperative involvement with the municipality, specifically on education and training staff and things like that, because we seem to be on the cutting edge with this Lambton Shores Community Group, Phragmites Committee, and there was definitely, there was a receptivity, but at the same time, they say that they're just going to be hiring independent contractors to do the work. So they're kind of keeping themselves at arm's length from doing any extra involvement in training or educational initiatives for the public. But it was mentioned that we did follow up afterwards with some additional requests to come back here because of our efforts, and we'll see what happens.
Councillor Cook?
With the next year's budget, moving forward with the county, would they be doing the drains at all, right?
No, they don't. the county has no jurisdiction on the drain, so the responsibility for the drain